Hey folks, John Mark here. This is going to be part two to our time log and expense tracking using CRM and ZPortals. This is going to be a little bit of a behind the scenes to show you how you would actually go ahead and configure some of the settings on the back end of ZPortals. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here and we'll dive into that configuration. So as you can see, I am in the WordPress portal. We'll go to ZPortals over here, click on the customization tab, and this will bring up all of the modules that are available in the CRM. Obviously, the most important one for this particular use case was our employee daily logs module. Once we turn that on, you'll see that it's going to be added over here on the left-hand side, where we can then go ahead and begin our configuration. So I'm going to dive into the daily logs module. And once we dive in here, once it's enabled on this main screen, you're going to need to click this button over here to show it in the portal. You can then rename it to something a little bit more applicable to a front-end user. So it doesn't have to be your internal custom module name. It can be more of a forward-facing name if you so choose. Now, other videos address how you get to show the appropriate records to a particular user. So I'm not going to dive too far into those permissions, but you can see here that we can add some instructions. We can let employees or contractors add new logs, edit logs, upload attachments, etc. We can show them what fields are going to show up in that list view. And the ability to add notes back and forth if they need to have comments to support their daily entries or go back and forth with the manager. Now, where the meat and potatoes of the configuration begins is in this layout over here. So once we click into the layout, this allows us to drag and drop the relevant fields for that particular module, much like you would on the back end of Zoho. So first things first here, we can choose a specific layout. We can also have some more advanced predefined filters if you want to filter out certain records that have already been approved, for example. But in most cases, we're going to go directly over here to the record view. And this is where we'll see a list of all of the fields that are available. You simply click and drag a field over here into the main layout. And then from here, you can organize those fields into different sections, much like you would in Zoho CRM. So in addition to standard fields, we also support different subforms. So if you drag in a subform over here, it's going to let you choose from all of the fields available in that subform to show up in the portal as well. And then on a field by field basis, you can come in and set the permission, whether you want that to be editable by a contractor or view only. In some cases, you may want a field to be view only if it's auto-populated through a custom function, like a time log ID, for example. So we can choose those various fields to show up. This supports lookup fields as well. So you can certainly have a lookup field. If you go into the settings, you can choose how the user would search for a particular equipment model. In this case, you can do it by model number or a friendly name, and you can give them various filters as well. So if you have a large list that they need to search through, you can provide them some easy ways to refine that. And then in my example, I showed just one subform. We can integrate multiple subform, one for time entry, another one for materials as an example. If you are a trucking company and you need to do truckloads and hauling, or you need to measure aggregate delivered, you can do all sorts of custom fields and subforms to track that. So the standard functionality with ZPortals will by default show all subforms. There are some more advanced use cases that you can add JavaScript to dynamically show or hide certain subforms, but that's not available out of the box. So you will need to work with your developer to implement that JavaScript to dynamically show or hide fields if that is needed in your use case. So really on the back end, it's pretty simple. Once again, you'll just enable that module, and then you can choose which fields or subforms show up on that daily log. And then if you want to, you can add additional sections or elements to this daily log file. So if you want to add a text block with further instructions or perhaps even a video demo, you can click this add element button over here to integrate other elements onto this page. We can also add things like custom buttons that can commit that time log to the CRM, or request an edit, etc. And please check out some of those other videos to see how you can use buttons to invoke webhooks that can do certain actions back on the Zoho side. So I hope that this gives some clarity on the ZPortals configuration. Give us a shout if we can help in any way. Thanks a lot. Cheers.